Let me show you exactly how you can send 300 text messages a day for $1 a day. That is all possible thanks to this wonderful platform called TextGrid. TextGrid integrates directly into your GoHighLevel account. And when you register one A2P campaign, you can use that one campaign to send text messages through 50 different numbers. Now, as we all know, with GoHighLevel, every single time you purchase a brand new number, you have to go through that process of getting a campaign approved every single time you get a new number. With TextGrid, we register our campaign one time, and we can use that one campaign across 50 different numbers inside of GoHighLevel. Now, getting your A2P campaign approved with TextGrid is a lot more simple than going through GoHighLevel. GoHighLevel currently have a waiting time of sometimes a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Every single one of my clients right now has got their campaign approved first time around within 3 to 4 days. And that's all thanks to the SOP that I'm going to be taking you guys through today. I'm going to show you exactly how to register your campaign, what are the carriers looking for, how to register your brand. Every single step I'm going to walk you through step by step to make sure that your campaign gets approved the first time around, and so that you can go ahead and integrate TextGrid into your GoHighLevel account and start sending thousands of SMS messages a day. And I really mean thousands. I mean, with TextGrid, each number has a throughput of around 500 to 600 text messages a day. Now, let's just say pessimistic. Let's say 500, right? You can have 50 different numbers for one campaign. If each number has the capability to send 500 text messages, we do that times 50, that's 25,000 text messages that you can send every single day. And there's no restrictions, by the way. You're not being restricted just like how you are with GoHighLevel. They're pretty unrealistic with their expectations. If you send 300 text messages and 2% opt out of that text message, let's say 6 people opt out, your account is temporarily suspended. You can't send text messages anymore. And for someone like me who's doing crazy amounts of volume, that is super unrealistic. If I go and activate a database that I haven't spoken to in a while, and let's say I want to go and reach out to 1,000 of them, 20 of them opting out of 1,000 is kind of common. Now, in the description below, I'm going to attach my link for you to go ahead and sign up to TextGrid. Now, when you sign up using my link, you are going to be able to use this platform for completely free. You're not paying a dime to sign up. You're not paying a dime monthly. The only cost you pay is if you actually send text messages. If you send text messages, you get charged. If you're not using it, if you're not sending text messages, you don't get charged anything to use this platform. Now you have $0 sign up fee and a $0 monthly commitment as long as you sign up using my link. Let's really quickly go ahead and compare TextGrid to Twilio. Now, we can see Twilio charges you 0.0079 per text message. TextGrid is charging you 0.0035. So Twilio is charging us more than double what TextGrid is charging us per text message. It's a no-brainer. Automatically, you're cutting your cost down by more than half per text message. And here's the thing with Twilio. They cover up their carrier fees. You get wrapped up in your carrier fees because although 0.0079 doesn't seem like a lot, when you start sending out a volume of texts, you aren't really being killed by the cost per text message. You're being killed by the costs, the carrier fees that you're being charged. Now, I say this from personal experience. When I was sending 300 text messages a day from one sub account using Twilio, my carrier fees at the end of the week would take up my weekly bill to around $300 at times, which is insane. With TextGrid, This is your only cost. This includes the carrier cost. You are never ever going to be charged more than 0.0035 per text message. You're never going to be charged more. You are charged this flat amount and there's no hidden costs. There's no unexpected carrier fees here or there. This is the only cost you pay. Now, on top of that, Twilio is going to charge you for incoming SMS. So if someone actually texts you, if you're getting inbound text messages, Twilio is charging you for that. TextGrid is not charging you for that. They only charge you if you actually send a text message out. And all of these other benefits that I don't need to go through. I'm sure you guys get the point. So how do we actually get started? Let's head over to our document. Now, the first step is obviously signing up to TextGrid. You're going to sign up using my link, right? You're going to head over to this page. It's going to take you to a sign up. And what you are going to do is fill out your details and go ahead and create an account. Awesome. So you've just created your account, and once you go ahead and log in, you should be taken to a page like this. Now, let's head over to our SOP really quickly. So, step 1 is complete. We've signed up to TextGrid, right? We filled in our information and created the account. Now, let's move over to step 3. First thing I want you to do, once you are inside of your account, is on the bottom left-hand side here. I want you to click onto it and click onto billing. Now, once you click onto billing, you are going to go ahead and click onto payment settings. Now, we're going to let that load up. It's going to say here, you must first set up your billing information before setting up payment methods. And it's going to give you an option to click here to set it up now. And that's exactly what I want you to do. So fill all of this out where it says company information, your phone number, your service address, billing address. You're going to fill all of this out and then hit save. Now, once you filled out your company information, right, you are going to head back over into this little icon on the bottom left. It will show your workspace name. You click onto it. You're going to click onto billing, and then you're going to click onto payment settings. Now, once you click onto payment settings, it's going to bring you to this page where over here it shows you add a payment method. What I want you guys to do is go ahead and add a payment method. Now, before you hit save card, in order to verify your payment method, TextGrid is going to charge you 2 amounts for $1 to your card. Now, these amounts will be added to the account balance once the card is verified successfully. You can verify these amounts by clicking on the credit card once and the card has been saved. Now, when I hit save card, what they are going to do, right, is they are going to send those 2 $1 charges through. Now, once you've gone ahead and added your card details, just like I have, we have to verify our card. Now, you're going to click here to verify. Now, what TextGrid have done is they've sent 2 dummy charges through to our account. So those 2 dummy charges that TextGrid have sent through, we essentially need to put that in here. Now, I can see the amount that TextGrid have charged me is 0.19 and 0.18. So the first charge they sent to me is 19. I'm going to put that in here and obviously follow these guidelines. If it's 0.23, for example, you're just going to enter it as 23. You don't need to put the 0 point. So the first one was 19, the second one was 18, and when I click on verify card, it should now verify my card. Awesome. So now my credit card is verified. Now, once your card is verified, I want you guys to go and add funds. And you are going to go ahead and add $15 just for now. The reason why we're adding $15 is because we need to go off and pay for your brand approval and also your A2P campaign. Now, we're going to get this verified first time around. You guys are going to watch this video, follow my step-by-step process. You're literally copy and pasting and literally that $15 is going to cover your brand approval and your A2P campaign registration. Following my guide here today, following this document that I'm going to walk you guys through, you should be able to pass the first time round with no problems at all. I've already got 6 of my clients who have passed on this exact SOP, so you guys should have no problem at all as long as you're following the step-by-step process. So now we have completed part 1. We've signed up to TextGrid, we've created our account, and we've topped up our account with $15 for that registration. Now let's move on to part 2. Part 2, we want to enable the GoHighLevel integration between TextGrid and HighLevel. So you're going to head over to TextGrid, click on this bottom left, the workspace, click onto Settings, and you're going to click onto Advanced Settings. Now, when you head over to Advanced Settings, you should see GoHighLevel integration right here. You're going to enable it and just hit Save. That's all you need to do for now. Now, step 3, let's actually move on and register your brand. You're going to head over to TextGrid, and on the left-hand side, you'll see A2P registration right here. I want you to click onto that and then click onto Brands. Now, we can see we obviously have no brands yet. We haven't registered our brand yet. So the first thing we're going to do is add a new brand. Now, it is very, very, very important, guys, that every single one of these steps is filled out correctly. I've had brand campaign rejections before from carriers just because we had a capital letter out of place. Now, this is super quick to approve. This usually takes a couple of minutes. At most, it takes 24 hours. Your brand should get approved within a couple of minutes if everything is entered correctly. So you obviously want to put in your legal company name, the same one that comes up inside of the IRS documents. What type of organization are they? What is the EIN number? And anywhere that says if applicable is not really necessary. So you don't need this, you don't need this, you don't need this. Obviously your company name is going to stay the same. So yeah, all of this stuff is just the simple stuff. It should really not be too difficult to pass at all. Now, once you follow these steps and you've submitted the brand registration, you should get an email really within a couple of minutes, max 24 hours, that tells you, hey, your brand has been approved. Now, once you get that email, you're going to come into TextGrid, and it might take a second or two to actually show up on TextGrid's system that your brand has been verified. If you get an email saying that it's verified, and then you come into TextGrid, you go into brands, and it still says pending, what I would recommend you do is just log out and log back in. That usually gives the system the time to refresh and understand, okay, your brand has now been verified. Now, once it is verified, now we need to move on to the A2P campaign. Click onto brands, and once you click onto brands and it's verified, you're going to, underneath brand ID, see this little clickable button right here. You want to click onto that. And once you click onto that, it's going to show you all of these details, right? What I want you to do is click on register new campaign. Now, what you are going to select is, I would say low volume mixed is the use case that most people are going to be using this for. So I would select low volume mixed. I would select account notification, delivery notification, and that's fine, to be honest. And then you can go ahead and preview carrier terms. Now, like I said, this is going to break down the carrier terms, and it's going to tell you the throughput of each carrier. So how many text messages you can basically send through each carrier. The throughput is okay, continue. And now is the actual registration for our A2P. Now, to make sure that you guys pass this registration the first time around, I've created a few different assets, including the terms and conditions, the privacy policy, and the A2P compliant form inside of GoHighLevel that you guys can literally copy step by step. This whole document, as well as the assets like the terms and conditions, like the privacy policy, is all going to be available inside of my school community. Now, how do we create this privacy policy and the terms and conditions? That's the first step. So over here where it says knowledge base, I want you guys to go ahead and open this in a new tab. Now, when you open this in a new tab, it's going to show you all of these different things. Click onto step-by-step guide. Scroll down on the step-by-step guide until you find the privacy policy section right here. So you're going to copy all of this out. And there's also a link for a sample privacy policy right here. So this is the sample privacy policy, right? This is exactly how our privacy policy should look. Now, I'm going to head over to ChatGPT, and you guys can copy this prompt out step by step. literally simple, like, hey, I'm creating an A2P campaign that I need to get verified. I need you to create me the privacy policy on my behalf. Here is the framework that I want you to follow. And then what you're going to do is, obviously, you're going to copy and paste to this part right here. So this is the framework I want you to follow. And then you're going to say, this is the sample privacy. This is a sample of how the privacy policy should look, right? And then you can obviously go out. You can either save it as a document, or you can just go ahead and copy it all out. I'm just going to copy it out, paste it into ChatGPT, send it through, and now here we go. It's going to come up with a privacy policy that we can use for our A2P campaign. And all we're changing about it is our company name, our website, and our support email address were indicated. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy all of this out. Let me just copy out ChatGPT's answer, and I'm going to go ahead and create a Google Doc for this privacy policy. So I've copied and pasted the privacy policy into a Google Doc. What I'm just going to name the document is like whatever your company name is, and then privacy policy. Right, we'll save that. Now what I'm going to do is obviously remove the ChatGPT command here at the top. Just read through it. Effective date. So I would always set this date to like, you don't want to set it to today's date, on the date that you submitted your A2P campaign. You want to make this effective date maybe a month earlier. So today is the 15th of May. I might do it to the 15th of April 2025. Right? Welcome to your company name. I'll just skip that and fill in mine. Welcome to Skyline IO. Just looking over to make sure there's no other. There we go. So then you can have your support email here, Saeed at info.skylineio.com. Data security, and then you want to copy out your support email again, paste it out here. And then you can just have your main company email here, and then your website. Awesome. And then remove the ChatGPT command at the bottom. Awesome. Now this is good to go. What I can do is I'm going to share this document. I'm going to allow anyone with the link to access this document. I'm going to copy the link, head back over to my campaign registration inside of TextGrid. I'm going to scroll down, and my privacy policy link, I'm going to paste the link of this Google Doc that I just created. Now I've showed you guys how to do it for the privacy policy. Doing it for the terms and conditions is the exact same thing. I'm literally just going back to ChatGPT and saying, hey, I'm creating an A2P campaign that I need to get verified. I need you to create me the terms and conditions on my behalf. Here is the framework I want you to follow. Cool. And obviously you're copying that framework from the knowledge base right here. Now, we've also got a sample for the terms and conditions. Let's open that up. I'm going to copy this entire sample. Head back to ChatGPT. This is a sample of the terms. This is a sample of how the terms and conditions should look. Then just paste that in. send it through, and you're going to do the exact same thing, guys. ChatGPT is going to now give you your own terms and conditions, and just like I did for the privacy policy, you're going to copy all of that out, right? Create a separate Google document. Make sure there's no placeholders inside of there. Make sure the effective date is from like a month ago. Make sure you're changing your company name, the date, the emails and stuff like that. And then you're going to share the document. Make sure anyone with the link can access the document. Copy the link, and then inside of your campaign registration, you're just going to paste the terms and conditions link, that Google Doc that you just created. You're just going to paste that into here. So that is part 4 completed. We've created the terms and conditions. We've created the privacy policy. Now the next step is for us to create that A2P compliant form inside of GoHighLevel. This is where we're showing the carriers how people are actually opting in to our messages. Now the first thing we're going to do is go to GoHighLevel, right? We're going to head over to our HighLevel account, click onto sites. Now, once you're onto sites, I want you guys to go ahead and click onto forms, forms builder, and you are going to add a form, start from scratch. Now, we are going to go ahead and create the form that we are going to integrate to a dummy website to make sure that our A2P campaign can get verified. Now, we've got a sample form of what this should look like inside of this document. Let's reverse engineer. First things first, right? We need 3 fields inside of there: their first name, their last name, and their phone number. So inside of GoHighLevel, I've got their first name, their last name, their phone number, and their email. You can have more. It's not necessary for you to have 3, but that's just the standard that we need, right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove email, because I'm literally just creating this form for the sake of the A2P campaign. Just follow the steps, guys. This is exactly what we need to do to get the campaign approved. We're going to remove the email. All we want in there is the first name, the last name, and the phone number. Now let's head back to the document. We need 2 boxes, checkbox 1 and checkbox 2. Now you need to copy this out, checkbox 1. You're going to copy this out, and inside of GoHighLevel, you're going to replace the TNC one. You're going to replace this one with exactly word for word like I have given you inside of the document. I consent to receive text messages from, and you're obviously going to replace where it says your company name, and this company name needs to match exactly what you guys put through your brand approval, guys, right? So it needs to match exactly what you put through on your brand approval. But now I'm just going to put Skyline IO, and then you're going to put your phone number, but you're not going to put your phone number in any regular format. You're going to do 1 dot, then let's just say 570.8989. So you're not adding any hyphens, you're not adding anything like that. It's just going to be simple. 1 dot, and 1 obviously signifies the area code, 570.8989. So you're going to add a dot. No plus signs, no hyphens, no dashes, no underscores, nothing like that. It needs to be exactly how you see it. Frequency may vary, message and data rates may apply, reply stop or to cancel, help for help. Okay, awesome. Now we're going to move on to the second checkbox. So the second checkbox, it needs to say exactly like so. I consent to receive non-marketing transactional messages from your company name again. So Skyline IO. Awesome. Those 2 checkboxes are completely fine. But there's one step that we might have gone over. The phone number. We need to make sure that the phone number is not required. Make this a non-required field. This is not required. If we make it required, your campaign is going to get rejected. So you want to make sure that the phone number field is not required. Awesome. Now right here where it says privacy policy and terms of service, what I want you guys to do is click onto that little box. Now the box underneath all of this, we want to make sure the privacy policy, terms of service, we want to change it to terms and conditions. We don't want it to say terms of service. We want it to be terms and conditions. Perfect. Now, what do you think I'm going to do, guys? I'm going to replace these links with my documents that we had created previously. right? So I can head over to terms and conditions, copy my Google Doc, which we already created, paste my link inside of here, confirm. That's my terms and conditions done. What was my privacy policy link? Where is it? There it is. And now I'm going to replace the privacy policy link, highlight it, 3 dots, the little link button, change it to my privacy policy, hit confirm. Now what I want to do is go ahead, I'm just going to rename this form A2P campaign, and I am going to save this form. Now, once you have gone ahead and created that form, the next thing we are going to do is go ahead and actually create a funnel. So I'm going to create a new funnel from blank. I'm just going to name it A2P campaign reg. I'm going to go ahead and create that funnel. Okay, now once you've gone ahead and created the funnel, the first thing you're going to do, let me just reverse for you guys really quick, right? We can see we've got a 2-column here. I'm just going to delete everything, show you guys completely from scratch. What I'm going to do is click onto this little plus sign, add elements, right? Then you'll have section templates here. I'm just going to add a menu section. I'm going to delete all of this fluff, all the stuff that I don't need. And I can add an element here. I'm going to add a form. It's going to say you don't have any forms yet. Then you select your form. Remember, we already created our A2P campaign form. It's going to come up here. I'll just remove this little thing on the right. Comes to the middle. Perfect. And literally that's all I need. I'm going to hit save. And now at the top it's going to say connect domain. Now this is a very important step you must not skip over. When you connect your domain, make sure you connect the same domain that you entered in your brand registration. So if you guys remember, in your brand registration it would have asked you for your website. So something like skylineio.com. Right? In this case, my domain is what? skylineio.com. That is the domain. What you are going to do is make sure that domain matches to this form right here. And now once you've connected your domain, I just want you guys to go ahead and publish this. Okay guys, now final step, we are literally ready to submit this registration. So inside of text grid, you can see they're asking us for a description of our campaign and how we get people to opt in. So I've got a separate document which is also linked inside of the main SOP that you guys can use for a reference. I'm just going to copy out all of this and paste it inside of here. Now I need to make sure that this matches up exactly with my company name. So our company is sending text messages primarily to provide critical account notifications and updates to our clients. Okay, this is fine. I don't actually need to change anything in here. Now let's go to the call to action part. Call to action, I will need to change a few things. So I'm going to copy all of this out. And you can see everything highlighted in yellow you need to change. So I'm going to go back to here, paste this out. And you're going to change Automate Arsenal is like a dummy company name. You're going to change this again to the same exact company name you used in your brand registration. So the name that actually exists, the legal name. So whatever that may be, I'm going to change it to Skyline.io for now. You're going to change this URL. And what are you going to change the URL to, guys? You're going to change it to the website. Obviously, after you connect the funnel, after you connect the domain, sorry, open the actual website. Don't open the preview. Don't open this part right here, which is the preview. That's not the actual website. You need to open the actual website. Once you've connected the domain, open the website, copy the URL from the website, and paste that in here. That's the opt-in page, right? Again, change the company name to your own. And we are all good. So we've got that in there. We obviously have your terms and conditions link. I showed you guys how to do that. And then you don't really need to do any of this. All that's left is the sample text messages, which is also inside of this document. So I'm going to have 5 different sample text messages. I'm going to copy out the first one, paste it into here. Obviously change the company name again to your own company name. And do the same for all of the other ones as well. You're going to copy all of these ones out. Make sure you change the company name and just paste them in sample 2, 3, 4, and 5. And once you go through all of those steps, guys, right here, you're going to leave this exactly how it is. You can leave this exactly how it is as well. You don't need to touch anything here. And you can just hit submit. And that is how you're going to register your A2P campaign and actually make sure that it gets verified first time around. Now keep an eye on your email, guys. It will take about, I would say, max 2, 3, 4 days for your campaign to actually get approved. Now once it does get approved, you'll get an email similar to the one you get after your brand is approved, and it will just notify you, hey, your A2P campaign has been accepted and it is now approved. And when you click onto A2P registration and you go to campaigns, it will show as accepted. Now from here, we want to actually go ahead and connect the first sub account that we are going to use. So click onto sub accounts, attach GHL sub account, and it's going to take you to this marketplace page where you're going to log in and obviously select that sub account that you want to use. Very important, select a sub account, not an agency account. Now once you have connected your GoHighLevel sub account, it should come up in the text grid dashboard right here. You're going to select the sub account that you have just connected. Now once you click onto that cold SMS sub account, the sub account that you connect, right, you want to click onto phone numbers and click onto buy a number. You need to go ahead and buy your first number, right? So you're going to search up your area code and purchase a number for that area code. Okay, so what we want to do now is go ahead and buy a number. So we're going to search up for an area code, and it's going to give us a list of numbers that we can go ahead and purchase. Let's just go ahead and purchase this number. It's going to cost us 50 cents. We're going to buy phone number. And once you buy a phone number, there is a step that we have to go through in order to basically attach this phone number with our A2P campaign. Now, once you purchase the number, you're going to head over to active numbers and you will see your number come up right here. Awesome. So I've just gone ahead and purchased a number and it says no campaign attached. What you want to do is head over to active numbers and you've got a clickable thing here. So head over onto the actual number, the one that says no campaign attached. Click onto it and you can give it a name. So I'll just call this Denver number because it's in the Denver area. And then it says associated campaign. I'm going to attach the campaign, and obviously I've only got one A2P campaign. You guys will probably as well. You're going to attach your A2P campaign, right? And voila, you hit save and you're pretty much done. Now just before we test this, go to settings in your GoHighLevel sub account that you connected to TextGrid. Go to the sub account, click on settings, and you're going to look for phone numbers. Phone numbers right here. Once you click onto phone numbers, you're going to click on advanced settings and it should show over here text grid. And as long as it's already selected to text grid, you don't need to change anything. If it isn't selected to text grid, it should come up here. Just select it and then you are now ready to start sending text messages. Go ahead and add yourself as a contact to test this. Add yourself as a contact, test it out, see if the text message that you send yourself comes from the number that you just integrated, and if it does, then that means you have completed this process successfully. If you guys want access to this entire document as well as all the templates I showed you here today, the templates for the form, the templates for the privacy policy, the terms and conditions, the sample text messages, the description, the opt-in description. If you want all of those descriptions, join my school community below. The link is in the description as well as in the pinned comment. I'll see you guys inside of there, and drop me a message if you guys need any help or if you have any questions.